I'm convinced when the Queen went, dynamics of the globe changed. Purposefully. We had the good life, didn't we, under the Queen, mate? How good was life under the Queen, people? Regardless of all the difficulties and situations, how good was life when the Queen was in power? The mother's touch. Do you understand what I'm saying? No mother's touch now, mate. Dirty old man now, la. That's what we've got in power. A dirty old man. Ash LMF. Kel saying it was better. It was, la. The world was a better place as well when the Queen was alive. As soon as she went, mate, wow. Have you not noticed? Have you not noticed how much the Western world's deteriorated since the Queen's passed away? Massive, mate. Think about it. Think about the King. And think about his mates. You are who you're with. It's what we get learned. It's what we get told by them. If you mix with that lot, you'll end up like that lot. If you mix with them bankers, you'll become a banker. If you mix with that criminal, you become a criminal. If you mix with that suspect, you'll become a suspect. King Charles right there for you, mate. Suspect in the highest regards. And all his family. Why? Because they know about it. They're held accountable just as much as him, mate. You telling me them sons and them girls around that house don't know he's that way inclined? You're seeing exactly the same shit right now what they were doing with Savile back in the day with that Lord Ali. Exactly the same shite what Savile was able to do with the politics. That Lord Ali's doing exactly the same. Keys to Parliament, keys to this, access to that. Spending 72 grand on Starmer that he didn't tell no one about. Why is our Prime Minister got some billionaire paying him to buy £2,000 glasses? Why? Why, as soon as he's got into power, the same person that was paying him 72 grand has all of a sudden got a set of keys to roam round number 10 by himself? Free nilly. Where just have free reign in the most important house in the whole country. My man's just had a set of keys given to him. He can go round there for 3 weeks, do what he wants. Why? Because he gave my man 72 grand. Every suit you see in Keir Starmer in, this kid bought him it. And his beard. So Keir Starmer and his beard got 72 grand off this Ali. Lord Ali, they call him, or something. And as soon as he got into power, he was given the key to Downing Street and told, yeah, 3 weeks you can have a mooch. How's that? And Keir Starmer never even proclaimed it to Parliament. He's only just done it now because he got exposed about it. So he's come out and had to start trying to cover a story. If that's not enough for you who voted him in to say, hang on, we need him out, I don't know what is. You've got a puppet that's being bought. That's what you've got in Downing Street right now, considering himself a Prime Minister. You've just got a puppet that's being bought. He's already bought. He's getting told what to do. Look, you've got a politician who was the head of the CPS in the whole country. He has stood up on pedestals all his life and gives speeches, whether it's defending, prosecuting, summing up, whatever. Okay? All of a sudden, every time he's on a pedestal now, he's reading what he's saying. You're talking about a man that's educated in standing on pedestals, speaking freely about shit, making his point freely, not reading through context or details or scriptures. And now all of a sudden, after gaining all them skills as a prosecutor, as a defence barrister, all them skills where you can stand on a stage and produce tell people without reading shit, and now all of a sudden he's got to read everything he's saying to us. Everything Keir Starmer is saying, he's reading to us. It's a script. Listen, have you ever been to a drama class? Have you ever been to acting school? Have you ever been to acting school? I have. And this is what they do to you, right? They'll sit you down and they'll give you a part to play. And they'll have you reenact that part. And as part of that part you're playing, he'll give you a sheet of paper. And you will have your part of the conversation that's going to go on. And I'll stand up, and the other person in the conversation will stand up, and she'll start the conversation, and I'll enter the conversation reading what I'm meant to say. We got a script. We was given the script, and we read out the script to each other. What have you got? Keir Starmer, an acting pupil. There's the script. There's the situation. Go and play it out. It's exactly that, what you're seeing right now with Keir Starmer. He's being given a script and he's just been reading it. He's getting told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And it doesn't matter. Yeah, he'll put things up for votes, but he's won it. I told you this when I was telling you not to vote him in. He's got that much of a majority in Parliament now. It doesn't matter how many Conservatives are there. They can oppose anything. It's not working for them. Nothing. He can go in today and say, I want to bring this in. Every one of his team, his MPs that you've all voted in, is not going to go against him. Why? Because the last 7 that went against him got the whip took off them. That makes sense? So you hear him saying, oh, we changed the party. I've come in and I've changed the party. No, you've got the party shook. You haven't changed them. You've got rid of the people that opposed you. That's all he's done. No opposition in his own party. None. They're all shit scared to lose the new wage structure. You know, them MPs, when they weren't in power, they were on a little 50 bags. Now they're in power, they're on a little 90 bags. Not one of them want to lose their wages. Trust me on that. And they will bow down to everything Starmer's telling them to do. So now in the next 5 years, if he wants to bring in, it was like a prime example, cutting the winter fuel off the pensioners. That's a prime example of what's going to go on with everything with Starmer involved in it. The opposition will try the hardest. The Conservatives will all vote against it. But they've only got 200 people. So, I don't know how many seats, but let's just say there's 501 seats in Parliament. 501 MPs. Now, if there was 250 Conservatives and 250 Labour, or 256 Labour, well then the voting process could work, couldn't it? But if there's only 200 Conservative and 300 Labour and they put it to a vote, who's winning? And that's the situation you've got in Parliament right now for the next 5 years. Whatever Keir Starmer puts in front of his little people who is shit scared to object, he's getting the vote. Doesn't matter how much they object. Every single Conservative on them benches can object and they can't do shit about it and nothing, because the majority vote always takes it. And in Parliament right now, Labour have got the majority seats. Like I say, out of 500 seats, Labour's sitting at 350 or something. So every time there's a vote, Labour's guaranteed to win it. And this is what I told you before he got into power. He gets into power, he gets his 5 years. Instantly, he's looking 10. Instantly, he's looking 10 years. He's told, we need you in here for 10 years. Now, there's not a law yet that keeps him in power for 10 years. There's no law yet that keeps him in power for 10 years. I'm guaranteeing you right now, in the next year, something's going to go for a vote in Parliament, and it'll be to give him an extra 5 years in power. Guarantee you that, people. We've got Keir Starmer for the next 10 years, whether you can like it or not. Basically, the British government is controlled by the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and their agenda is getting implemented right before your eyes, mate, and no one gives. But that's all. That's the whole different subject, isn't it? And what you're witnessing is basically Britain fighting a proxy war against Russia. That's what you're looking at now. You all think it's Ukraine fighting a war against Russia. It's Britain fighting a proxy war. Just like these forces in Sudan and Yemen, and they're all targeting Israel, and allegedly it's for Iran. So these groups are having proxy wars with other groups for Iran. Does that make sense? Our groups are having a proxy war with Russia for America. Does that make sense? Do you know what a proxy war is? It's a country that's being funded by another country that doesn't want to look to be involved, basically. So you've had Britain screaming about Russia for the past 2 years, 3-4 years, taking billions of pounds off legitimate working class Russian people, targeting them. Haven't you? For years you've heard it. Our own government has killed our own agents and blamed Russia for it. That's how dangerous our government is. So when you're getting people poisoned on the Tower Bridge of London by a fellow with an umbrella, and they call it espionage off Russia, it's not. When you're getting a fella found in a suitcase that was a special branch agent in his apartment and no one can explain why they blame Russia, it's not. You know, our government's been dangerous, mate. Dangerous, mate, honest to God. And just like I say, you know, what you see on the front is half of it. It's half of it. So you look at the military and you go, oh, the military. Next level military that you've never seen in your life, mate. So you've got the military that we're all aware of, and then you've got the dark military. And they've never had to use them. They've never had that much of a risk or a danger in this country to use that shit. You know, they can just take you out. Just like that. Nothing you can do. MI6, SAS, I'm talking above them. They're in the public domain. You know, they put them in the public domain for a reason. They're willing to let you know about these. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Behind that, there's a whole different world, mate. Whole different movements. It's like your police force. You're talking about MI5 and Special Branch. They're just your police force. Just branches of your police force. MI5 and Special Branch are militant. They're not commandos. You know, you might just have some little fat looking hermit there in MI6. Never been in a theatre of war in his life. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? They're just like a thing of the... And then you'll have people that can put you in a suitcase and blame it on the Russians. And most of the foreign diplomats that have been took out on this land, and we get fed these stories that, oh, they were oligarchs from Russia and they were hiding from Putin. They were spying in this country. That's why the British government took them out and blamed Putin. That make more sense to you? So you know that fella that got shot in his garden? What was his name? You had some big property tycoon from down there somewhere, got took out in his back garden. That's the government. Jill Dando. Government. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? There's loads of situations in this country where the governments have just got rid of people to clean up the mess. They can't afford to have this shit coming out. Let's just clean up the links. And I see this. You know the way I sort of put everything that they do on that scale with that method and that tactic and that strategy. It's all the same dynamics. It doesn't matter where you are, even down here on the streets. So, example. I've been involved with crimes and I've been involved with certain people. And a crime's happened, a fatal crime. And there's been a few lads there. And as we're growing up over the years, you know, a few lads detach and end up on their own little journeys, don't they? I remain in contact with the gunman. And I'm having conversations with the gunman. And it's becoming evident to me that this gunman is getting severely paranoid about them 2 kids that 5 years ago was on that graft with us. And my man is shit scared that one of them are going to open their mouths in the future. So my man, in his head, is planning to get rid of A and B so he can't get life off. That makes sense to you? So use little rats that have watched, let's say, that young lad get murdered in Aintree. And you've watched it. And you know the murderer. You know the murderer. He knows that you know what he done. Do you think you're safe? Do you think you're going to be able to just float around in your life without this cunt getting more and more and more paranoid about you? If his life continues to get better and better and better, more suspect towards you and your mates. If he's now got kids and he's got a nice house and a nice bed and he's sitting there thinking them 2 can snitch on me and get me lifed off, trust me, lad, he's going to move to you and he's going to remove you from the situation so he doesn't get himself lifed off. Consider what you're doing when you're sitting there thinking you're safe when you've got information like that. If you've got information of a murder and you've been at the scene of that murder and you know who that murderer is, that murder's a danger to you. That kid that has killed that kid and he knows you to know about it, he is a serious risk to you to. So you need to really consider what you're doing and what secrets you're willing to hold, because you're going to get yourself put in a mess if you don't talk to someone about it. Trust me, you're not even going to see that kid in 5 years down the line, and that's when he'll start thinking about killing you. Trust me on it. I know, I've been there. That's the way you think in a certain situation. Yes, as Mr. Jones, sort your heads out. Use little lads that think you're not even going to be able to live with the secret. Do you understand? You're going to tell someone eventually. You can't live with that. You aren't cut out for it, mate. You haven't even been in a plod shop, mate. How the few think you can hold that secret all your life? You're going to end up in some way or another, mate. Guaranteed. Whether the secret gets too heavy and you start drinking or taking drugs to deal with the secret that you've been carrying. Whether the murderer that's made you have the secret gets paranoid and starts hunting you down and trying to take you out. These are all shit that goes on when, you know, you've got to carry some mad shit with you. You've got to carry some mad shit. So imagine that Thomas Cashman got off. Imagine Thomas Cashman never got nicked and got placed and got guilty. You see everyone that protected him. See everyone that put him in. See these rats that had him in the flat, giving him apartments to sleep in with his bed and that while he was on his toes. These are going to suffer horrendously, you know. They're going to suffer horrendously. Everyone involved in protecting that murdering rat is going to suffer, including the Sweeney family. Do you understand what I'm saying? Including his bird and his kids. They're all going to suffer horrendously. Why? Because you try to protect evil. Freestyle for us. Don't keep secrets, basically. Don't keep secrets for no one. That's pure decent advice, you know. Do not hold a secret for no one. Yes, Elena. And if anyone's asking you to keep a secret, just don't jog them on. They're dragging you into a mess, mate. Can I tell you something? You promised me you won't tell no one. Blah blah said this and blah blah said that. Now. That's what you need to do with people like that. Anyone asks you to keep secrets, don't speak about it. It's the first thing a dirty, horrible suspect will say to your children. Can you keep a secret?